Hey everyone. Alright, so we're going to do another portfolio project review. And this one is of a portfolio. Another portfolio. So let's go ahead and get started. So this one's from Sasa. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Sasa from Twitter. Just let's actually start from here, the homepage. In the process of becoming a full stack web developer, I mean, what I would challenge you to do is think about who, like, what this portfolio is for. And if it's to impress clients or employers and try to get that first position or first client, uh, you probably, I think you're going to instill a lot more confidence. And I recommend this for a lot of people, and just dropping the in process of becoming or, full stack developer student. Like, if you have projects to showcase, just put full stack developer. And I think that's a pretty common way to portray yourself on portfolios nowadays. So it's kind of just something little and minor, but it can definitely shape that initial perception that someone has when they first visit your portfolio. So you are a developer for hire, basically. All right, so it's pretty simple. Contact links, I like that. I would actually have one probably for email as well. Developer info, Sasa. Looks like you misspelled business. While alive, eat, sleep, code, repeat. I mean, this is creative. And I think quite a few people will, they'll kind of get creative with, hey, I'm a developer, so I'm going to show code, or like I'm going to show an editor on my portfolio and write out my about me and my projects, in a code block. That's fine if you want to be creative and that kind of speaks to your personality, but I think the information in that code block there's nothing really relevant here. I think, let's see, hold on. Do you have, okay, transition slightly slow. You have an about me, you have my projects and contact. If you kind of want to, I think if you kind of want to dive into hobbies and stuff like that, I would actually put it in the about me. I think where employers are really going to care about, they want to see your projects, they want to see what you've built, what you've done, how you've grown as a developer. This doesn't really tell them that, and that's on the very home page when they first get here. Keep in mind, it's very common for portfolios to kind of be perceived as very, how do I say this, just not as impressive. And I even kind of monitored analytics when I was first applying for my position, and I would see where employers would drop off in Chicago, and a lot of the times I didn't really impress them with my first page, and they didn't continue looking even to my projects. I kind of learned that my projects and my portfolio was hidden away, even though that was one of the most valuable things on my portfolio. And so that's kind of the advice I'm leaning on giving you here is this the most relevant information that you can provide? Probably not for the initial page. Even for this portfolio, I would lean on showcasing your projects, dive right into your projects. So just however you want to design that with your own creativity, kind of figure that out. I just don't think this information is relevant, as relevant, I should say. So I think your projects are going to be most relevant. So let's take a look at that. Check out some of my projects. I see. I don't know. Here, just taking a look. I don't know. Okay, so it stays transparent the entire time. I would argue that if someone hovers over your thumbnail, they're focused on this project. So why would you show the previous project underneath it with that transparency? Is that transparency necessary? I'm not sure why there's an opacity or transparency here, but this, I would actually get rid of that and just have this kind of like over overlap this. Can't show you because I keep... Anyways. All right, so you have your projects. React Weather App. You have the GitHub link. That's perfect. I'm just looking at the links at the bottom left right now. Netify is a great resource. I've actually never heard of it, but I've heard really, really good things about just launching basic aspiring developer projects on that don't require a lot of resources. So I might explore that in the near future. Okay, so you have your projects. I think this is the most relevant information you have. I really do. I'm curious why... see, that's kind of like the weird thing about this is I was kind of wondering why it was enlarging. Like, enlarging? Is that even a word? I don't care. I don't know why it was kind of extending off the page. Is that necessary? Because it's just creating the scroll bar, both horizontally and vertically, and it's kind of shifting the entire content over to the left, and it's jarring. I think what would be more relevant... this is good. This is definitely good. It looks like you definitely have a variety of projects that solve different problems. If you did want to take it an extra step, I would actually have a third link. You don't have to have 3 long links underneath each project. You'd shorten them a little bit and stack them horizontally, or just make them responsive if you do that. But having a link to maybe first of all, if any of these projects I guess helped gain helped whoever you built this for gain users, gained a profit in any way, if you were able to provide value for anyone or gain a user base behind these projects, that's a good story to tell in kind of like a little blog post. And so what I'm kind of thinking of is just like even a third link that kind of just talks about the problem you were trying to solve with the project, maybe the technologies used, and even like just showing your growth as you were building that project out. Kind of what you learned and some of the things that might have tripped you up. I think that could be very helpful. I think providing that window so an employer can see your growth throughout that project is really helpful, and it doesn't have to be very long, but just providing extra context, like what is this? This looks like e-commerce, but what were you trying to solve here? What's the industry behind this e-commerce store? Did you make it live? Did you sell anything on it? Did you make it for someone else? I think that extra context could be very relevant. So just another thought to keep in mind. I'm just curious how this looks on mobile. Okay. Maybe a little bit more spacing between your projects. Vertical spacing, by the way. Looks like this isn't really vertically centered within this. Cool. I kind of like that it shows your face as well. Makes it a little bit more personable. All right, let's go to the About Me. I think that transition could be a little bit faster. Biography. I'm interested in working in the field of software and web development as a full-stack web developer. Currently working as a manager of legal service with a law master degree for a firm in the field publishing industry. Okay, so I love when people talk about the current industry that they're in and how they're kind of bridging that gap into becoming a developer. I think that's really cool, and I think it kind of just brings some uniqueness to your developer profile, and it can kind of help pair you up with the right industry that might have both your old profession and your new profession as a developer kind of mixed in, which is really cool. It's kind of why I got into the health industry with my first developer position. Skills and experience. Most experience with JavaScript, actively using React, Node.js. I think this is all really relevant information. I like it. I think these charts are just eye candy, and I don't think they provide any real value. I see a lot of these, and I think they take up space. But it does kind of, it does kind of break up. With this is a pretty big about profile, and it does kind of break up the monotony of just all of this text. I definitely like the colors. It's a little. It's not the color contrast that's hard in the eyes right now. It's more of the font. This is not easy to read font. I would explore some different choices. Conducting research on relevant laws. Like this, I honestly think this font size, you're probably hitting the lower limits of what you should be with this font size, but just the font makes it so unreadable. It just hurts my eyes to see this. Developer preparations. I think like if you had less text, if you just had this section, maybe you can get away with this font. I don't know. It's just, this is not a very readable font, especially on this background. I don't know if I had to explore with more line height, because line height is kind of very narrow here. But I don't know. I'm just going to let you take it from there. I don't think this is easy to read. Page. I'm just curious what this looks like on mobile. What? Is that a glitch? Sometimes I don't trust Chrome developer tools. I don't know if this is a Chrome developer thing or not, but some employers are going to, especially if it's a developer on the team, they're gonna do exactly what I just did to look at it on mobile potentially. They might pull it up on their phone, but I'm not sure what's going on with this spacing. I'm assuming you didn't purposely align all this to the right. Just something to be aware of. And then contact. So you have all the right sections on your portfolio. You have your about, you have your portfolio projects. Again, I would start thinking about ways to make your portfolio one of the most, or your portfolio projects one of the most important pieces on your portfolio. But you have your portfolio up and you have a good amount of projects up. You provide some extra context, but then the contact me it's kind of like the two things that I recommend are portfolio projects and a way to contact you. And then usually people will add an about me as well, which adds some flavor to their portfolio and their personality because the employer doesn't know you quite yet. So I think you have all the right things and you didn't go too far with too many pages on your portfolio. How to reach me. Okay. I don't know if the address is necessary. Send me a message. It's very bright. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I don't know. I kind of like the color. I don't know if that submit button really matches. This light blue submit button really matches your color scheme. What? Why? Why does it do that? That's just weird. What? Are you using kind of a similar animation that you use with the portfolio projects? I just like, when I see moving content like this, when it's not relevant, it doesn't help deliver the information any better, I usually say take the animations out. I think too many animations just look amateurish. They kind of just like, they're trying to spice up a page when animation should be used to enhance delivering the content of that page, not just making it or trying to make it more interesting. I just don't see a valuable UX benefit from doing this. So I don't know if these animations are helping you. Okay. Either way, I kind of like the color scheme. I don't really see a lot of like, what is that, brown or dark green, brownish? I don't know what that is in the background, but I don't really see a darker color background focused or like leaning towards kind of a brown. So it's interesting how you made this work. I kind of like the color scheme. I think it's pretty unique. This doesn't really match the rest of your pages, but I mean, you're kind of doing a full width, full height background with this code in the background. I think the color contrast is good. I don't think the typography for some of those longer paragraphs are very readable though. But either way, I like the color scheme. I think you have all the right things in your portfolio. Again, I would highlight your portfolio projects, make them more prominent, even if it's just figuring out some way to kind of capture the employer's attention when they first hop onto your page with those portfolio projects. I'm gonna let you kind of take the direction you want with that, but that's just kind of my 2 cents. But either way, I think it's simple enough. It delivers the right information. I think this is pretty good. I take out some of the animations. I'm not going to check every page for mobile. Just kind of check your alignment with some of the things that we mentioned. But yeah, I think that's about it. Either way, I like the look of it. So awesome job with this. Thanks for submitting it.